everyone! So I posted a photo on Instagram the other day of a look that I did using the Where the Light Is palette created with Kathleen lights and ColourPop. So this is just a eyeshadow quad. It comes with 4 eyeshadows and she did an amazing job creating the colors. They're absolutely gorgeous. The quality is amazing. So I've been having a lot of fun playing around with this, kind of seeing what looks I can come up with. So the photo I posted on Instagram, everyone seemed to really like it, and there was actually a request for me to do a tutorial. So I went ahead and did that for you today. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Thanks, guys.
So my eyes are already primed. I used a paint pot by MAC in the shade Painterly, and I'm using the shade White Chocolate from the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette to set that eyeshadow base. And then I'm going to go in with my transition shade. I actually mixed 2 shades together for this. I used Soft Peach by Anastasia Beverly Hills and Beaches and Cream by Geek. I felt that mixing those 2 shades together made the perfect combination for a transition shade for this particular look. So I'm just going back and forth in windshield wiper motions at first to get the color in that crease. And then I go in circular motions, as you see here, just to make sure that everything is well blended. And then after that, I'm going in with the shade Cornelious. It is one of the eyeshadows by Kathleen Lights and ColourPop. It's just a matte brown shade with a little bit of a peach hue to it. So I'm just putting that directly in the crease. I'm not going very high with this. I'm just keeping very close in that crease, and I'm taking it all the way from outer corner all the way to the inner corner. And as you see, I make sure I get all the way in that inner corner. So I just keep going back and forth, and I keep dipping my brush into that Cornelious shade and adding more and more to get it as dark as I want. Feel free to kind of adjust it how you want it to look, make it as dark or as light as you please. And then I'm going in with my favorite blending brush, the Sigma E40, just going over everything that we just laid down to make sure that everything is well blended and there's no harsh lines anywhere. And after that, I'm going in with the shade Blaze. This is another color from the eyeshadow quad by Kathleen Lights and ColourPop. I'm using a MAC 242 brush to pack this all over the eyelid from inner all the way to the outer part of my eyelid. So the entire eyelid will be covered with this shade. So I just start lower on the eyelid and slowly move upward all the way to the crease. And then once I have the color as pigmented as I like, I actually take that MAC 242 brush and I use it to blend out the crease area as you see here. The formulation of these shadows, it just works really well to use that brush to blend the crease area out. And then I'm going to go in and add just a little bit more of that Cornelious shade that we used earlier in the crease just to deepen it up a little bit. And then I'm doing the same thing to the other eye, just adding that Blaze shade on the eyelid all the way, covering the entire eyelid. And one of the things I really like about the formulation of these shadows, they make it really difficult to go overboard. So I think they're really good eyeshadows for beginners, someone who's just starting out in makeup. They're very pigmented and very good quality, but they don't come off super pigmented in one swipe, which is awesome. So you can take your brush and dip it in and put it on your eye, and you're not going to get like some huge crazy color payoff. So very easy to build up and very easy to work with. And then on this eye, I'm also adding a little more of that Cornelious shade, just like we did on the other side, just to deepen up that crease a little bit. Here I'm just adding a little bit more of that White Chocolate shade from the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette that we used to set the base from earlier. I'm just using that to brighten up the brow bone a little. So just add that directly under the eyebrow right there. After that, I'm going in with eyeliner. I'm using the shade Smolder by MAC. It's just a matte black eye kohl pencil. So I'm just taking that all the way from inner to outer corner, just as close to the lash line as I can get. So I just start on that outer edge and then go towards the center, and then I just slowly dab as I get closer to the inner corner so I don't get too thick of a line towards that inner corner. Just like it to be just barely slightly thicker on the outer part of my eye and very thinner on the inner part of my eye, if that makes sense. And after that, I take an angled brush and just smooth out that line so it's not bumpy or choppy in any way, and it makes a much smoother line. So then I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing to the other eye. Just smooth out that line starting on the outer edge and going towards the center. And then I flip the brush over and just lightly smooth out that line from the inner corner towards the center of my eyelid. And then after that, I'm curling my eyelashes. I just use a basic Revlon eyelash curler. And now I'm going in with mascara. I'm actually loving this mascara at the moment. It's the Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara. It comes in like a pinkish silvery tube. It's absolutely awesome. I've been using it like every day this month. So I just put about 2 to 3 coats of this mascara. And then this is a weird thing that some people laugh at me for, but I don't like using those little lash combs. I use tweezers. I don't actually pull my eyelashes out, obviously, but I just take, as long as they're like pointy tweezers. The slanted edge tweezers, they don't work so well. But if the tweezers are like pointed at the end, it works really well to separate your lashes and get rid of any lashes that are sticking together from the mascara. I don't like those little lash combs. I feel like they take off the mascara instead of just separating my eyelashes. So here I'm just adding mascara to my other eye. Just put as many coats as you like. Like I said, I do about 2 to 3 coats of this mascara. Seems to work fine. Now I'm adding my foundation primer. I'm using the Cover FX mattifying primer. So just put that everywhere and then press it into the skin. Then I'm actually going in with a second primer here. I'm using the Smashbox pore minimizing primer just in that area where I have larger pores. And then I'm going to speed through my foundation here. I'm using the Revlon Colorstay foundation in the shade Sand Beige. And then in this moment, I'm just setting my forehead only with powder because sometimes I raise my eyebrows when I do the rest of my makeup and it settles, the foundation settles in those creases. So if I set it with powder, it doesn't happen. And then here I'm doing my concealer. I'm using the Maybelline Master Conceal concealer in the shade Light. Just putting that under my eyes. Then I'm setting that concealer with the Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. Love that powder at the moment. Just got it recently and I'm absolutely loving it. Now I'm going to go ahead and set the rest of my face with my MAC pressed powder in the shade NW20. Now I'm going back to the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette and I'm using the shade Semi Sweet. It's just a matte dark brown shadow. Any matte dark brown shadow will work for this look. You don't have to use that exact one, but it's what I had right there at the moment, so that's what I used. I'm just putting that as close to the lash line as possible. And then I'm using that cornelious shade that we used in our crease from earlier to blend that out. You can make this as dark as you like. For this look, I didn't really put too much color down there on the bottom, but if you wanted to really smoke it out, you could. Now I'm just adding some highlight to the inner corner. I'm using the shade Opal by Becca, just to brighten up my eyes a little bit. And then I'm just adding mascara to my lower lashes. I'm using the Extended Play Gigablack Lash Mascara by MAC. I just like the shape of this brush for my lower lashes. It seems to work really well. Now I'm just going to fill in my eyebrows. I'm going to use the Anastasia Brow Wiz pencil in the shade Soft Brown. I'm just going to speed through this. So I just fill it in and then I comb it out. Then I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing to my other eyebrow. Just fill in with the pencil where I need to fill in and then comb it out with the spoolie on the other end. After that, I'm going to go ahead and do some contouring. I'm using Benefit Hoola bronzer. It's just a matte brown bronzer. You definitely want to use a matte bronzer for your contouring. If you use a shimmery bronzer, it'll just make you look kind of muddy. So I'm just doing that under my cheekbones, and then I'm adding a little bit around the temples and my hairline on my forehead, just to kind of balance it out. That's a step I rarely skip. When I do contouring, I always add some to my forehead. Otherwise, my forehead just looks too white and everything looks kind of unbalanced. Then I'm just going in with a fluffier brush and blending out my hairline. And I'm blending out the contour that I added under my cheekbones. Just very little, just to make sure that there's no harsh lines. And then I'm going to go in with blush. I'm using the shade Peaches by MAC. It's one of my favorite blushes, especially for this time of year. Just adding that to the apples of my cheeks right above the contour shade that we added. And then I'm going to highlight my cheekbones and the bridge of my nose with the opal shade from Becca that we added on our inner corner as a highlight. And then I'm going to set my eyebrows with Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel. This is another step that I rarely skip. I just want to make sure that my eyebrows stay in place and don't move from where I want them to be. So I just lightly comb through them with the brow gel. And then after that, I set my face with Urban Decay's All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray. Now I'm going to go in and do my lips. So first I'm starting with lip liner. I'm using the shade Natural by NYX. So I'm just lining the outer portion of my lips. I'm not overdrawing them at all. I'm just following my natural shape. So I line the outsides and then I actually fill in my lips with that lip liner as well. And then I'm going in with a lipstick. I'm using Milani's Nude Cream lipstick. It's just an awesome everyday nude pink lip color. And then I'm going to top it off with a lip gloss. I'm using Buxom's Full On Lip Polish in the shade Samantha. It's just a beautiful nude lip gloss. So here's the final look. Like I said, I've been having so much fun playing around with these eyeshadows and seeing the different looks I can come up with. So I definitely recommend them to anyone. So I hope you guys get them and enjoy them as much as I have.
So that's it for the tutorial. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and give this video a nice thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.